Hello, everyone. Today we're going to learn some common English vocabulary and practice pronunciation. I'm going to read sentences and give you examples of their use. Let's get started. She kicked him. She kicked him. So this is really common with kids. Usually brothers and sisters, when they're young, they're playing or they're not being nice to each other and they're telling on each other. And maybe one brother's three kids. There's two brothers and a sister. And the oldest brother says, "I saw Anna kick my younger brother. She kicked him." So it's really common. The other situation might be during a game of some sort, maybe in soccer, on school teams. When there's a foul play, a player might say, "She kicked him, ref," as in referee. She kicked him, that's a penalty, and then they want something because of that. So those are some good examples of when we use kick. Okay, this makes me laugh because this is so common. I think it's time to give her a ride home. I think it's time to give her a ride home. So the first thing that comes to mind is when we go out with friends and one of the girls gets a little bit too drunk and someone says, "I think it's time to give her a ride home." So we're giving her a ride home because she's too drunk to drive. It wouldn't be safe. And this is usually after she's done something silly to embarrass herself or someone else. Maybe she's maybe she's told somebody outright that they look fat, which is really impolite. It's out of character for her. Or maybe she's flirting with a guy and she has a husband at home. So this is really common because it happens a lot, right? Girls drink too much, men do too. But people have too much to drink and they say, "It's time to give her a ride home," or "It's time to give him a ride home." Old people need someone to talk to. I think this is so true, and it's good to see here because people that have older people, seniors in their life, we know that old people need someone to talk to. It's so important or else they get quite lonely, and it can really change their health, how they feel every day when they wake up, and it is important. It is important that old people have someone to talk to. How did you learn to play the violin? How did you learn to play the violin? So this is also really common. This portion, how did you learn how to play the violin? Or how did you learn how to read so quickly? Or how did you learn to dance so well? Okay, so we use this all the time when we're inquiring, we're asking somebody about their talent. How did you learn to do that? Maybe you're, spinning a basketball on your finger. And I say, "Wow, that's cool. How did you learn to do that?" Right? Practice makes perfect. Okay, so this this makes me laugh because the first thing I think of is a government building. You have to wait for a long time. You have to wait for a long time. So this happens a lot in offices. In my country, it's really common in government buildings. Maybe you've gone to get a new passport or some sort of document, an official document, and there's only one government office that does this in town. So there are a lot of people. You have to wait in line, and you have to wait for a long time. So this is common. He lives in the room above us. He lives in the room above us. So this is talking about someone that lives above you in a building. So maybe you share a house, you have a few roommates, and one of your roommates lives in the room above yours. So that's all this is saying. It's talking about the location of where someone lives. She called for help. She called for help. Now, I hope this isn't a common sentence. I mean, it can be, but hopefully people don't have to call for help. But this means they're asking for help. So, for example, there might be a car accident, and your friend, she arrives on the scene, and she picks up the phone and she dials, an emergency number. In my country, it's 911. So she calls the police, and they send help. She called for help. Now, we could also use this sentence in English to just say she's yelling, like she's calling for help. Help, help. She called for help and somebody came. So both fit here. Is she still living with her sister? So we're obviously talking about two women here. They live together, and someone else is asking if one of the sisters, let's say the sisters are Anna and Nina, and they live together. And you would ask me about Anna and Nina, and you say, how are they? How's Anna? And I say, oh, she's well. I just saw her the other day. She's doing well. And you ask me, oh, is she still living with her sister, Nina? Have you ordered anything? Ordered. So this is really common in a restaurant or a bar. So maybe you are meeting a friend for dinner, and your friend arrives to the restaurant first, and you get there and you say, have you ordered anything? Meaning, have you ordered a drink, or have you ordered any food yet? Have you ordered anything? Sorry, but I have run out of ideas. So this is really common at work or in life. I'm going to change it to say I've, because in English we're always trying to shorten the way we speak the most efficiently we can. So sorry, but I've run out of ideas is common because we use this when we can't think of any more solutions to a problem. So, you might say, I spilt coffee on my white top this morning. And you're at the office. And I say, well, why don't you go home and change your top? And you say, I can't. I don't have time. I have a meeting in 30 minutes. And I say to you, well, why don't you go to the mall? It's only 10 minutes away, and buy a new shirt. And you say to me, I don't have any money. I can't buy a new shirt. Then I'll say to you, sorry, but I've run out of ideas. Or sorry, I've run out of ideas. Which means, they're on their own to solve the issue. I've given them all the ideas I could think of. Please listen. I'm really sorry about what happened. So this is really common. I'm gonna say it in relationships so often, right? Someone does something wrong. It causes the other partner to be upset. The person that did something wrong says, I'm really sorry, and the other person doesn't want to hear it. They say, I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to hear it. And they say, please listen. I'm really sorry about what happened. That's her boyfriend. So maybe you and I and our friend Anna are at a party, and a guy shows up at the party, walks in, and you say to me, who's that? And I point to Anna and I say, that's her boyfriend. So that's Anna's boyfriend. Are you jealous of him? So this is really common. It happens a lot at work, also at home between children, when somebody is jealous. So maybe, you have two sons, and one of your sons comes to you and says, Mom, Tommy is playing video games, and he's been playing video games all morning. And I say to you, are you jealous of him? Do you want to play video games? It is not so far. Oh my goodness. So this is actually a really common a really common sentence that people say when they're giving directions walking. So this is really good to know when you're traveling in an English-speaking country. Maybe you're walking in Canada and you want to know where the nearest library is. And you're walking on the street and you stop me and ask, "Hi there, do you know where the nearest library is?" And I say to you, "Oh, it's about 2 blocks away. Just walk that direction for 5 minutes." It's not so far. So that means that it's close. And I'm going to change it to say it's, because we always shorten things in English as much as we can. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. So maybe my friend is standing next to me when you ask me where the library is. And he says to me, I'm not sure about that. I think the library is actually 10 blocks away. I think it's more a 30 walk. I think it's further. It's about 30 minutes from here. So he's not sure about what I've just said. He doesn't agree. Would it be okay if we stayed? Would it be okay if we stayed? So this is a great sentence to know because you might use it. Maybe you're driving somewhere and you stop in to visit a friend and you're having a visit, and while you're visiting, the weather gets really bad outside and it's snowing and you can't see very far because there's so much snow and there's a blizzard. And you say to your friend, "Would it be okay if we stayed?" So you want to stay at your friend's house for longer because it's dangerous to leave. Now, it's not always going to be a situation where things are dangerous, but you're asking to stay somewhere for longer for whatever reason. Maybe I stop in at your house for a coffee, and I'm only going to stop in for 5 minutes because I have a meeting in 10 minutes. But then my meeting's canceled. And so I say to you, would it be okay if I stayed? Would it be okay if I stay longer? Can I stay here for an hour and visit with you? Of course you can. So yes, you can stay here for an hour and visit. I have time. Of course you can.